was there like at the chamber.
Oh yeah.
I don't ask him so bad. Is your last name Martin?
No, it's not. It's not.
His parents must have drunk gallons of Remy Martin.
I'll have to play this part of the podcast for him. I think you would laugh at it.
Yeah. Is there a difference between building teams and leading teams in like academia and like the so-called regular work world?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a difference between building teams at different sizes of companies. So just for example, like when I was doing research in academia, the people that I worked with, there were some people that I worked with where the incentives were just very misaligned, and so that taught me a really important lesson about like who I wanted to work with and why I wanted to work with them. And so then like when you look at Doppel, for example, like the most important thing is a passion for helping people. It's all about our mission, and everyone's mission aligned. And so we have this like solid foundation that brings us together. And then there's a quality of like hunger for learning that's also extremely important. That's within everybody. And so what I learned really at Pluto VR and what I brought into Doppel is the importance of culture, and for everyone on the team to be culturally aligned, so that you can really move towards or accelerate moving towards your mission vision.
And how do you know like if your culture is kind of getting off track, so to speak, and you got to reel people back in?
Yeah, I've seen people with the wrong attitude just destroy teams, and I don't know how to put it into a clear, concise, snippet for this talk, but I think it's something you just know. You just know when you see it. It's like, oh, that's not going to work.
And so at Doppel, y'all wanted to deliver distributed, on-demand, diagnostic, and interventional care to underserved communities.
Yes, sir.
Well, like, how do you decide where to go to? Like, obviously, you can go anywhere one time. So do you have like a top 10 list, top 10 communities you want to go to, or how do you make those decisions where to go to?
Yeah, I think the short answer is the universe. The universe has told us and will continue to tell us where to go. The longer answer is we went out and we talked to everyone who would listen to us, listen to their problems, their need for this solution, both now and in the future. And it became very clear that rural areas just right in our backyard, right outside of Seattle, need access to ultrasound specialists like yesterday, and they'll do anything to get access. And so we just naturally developed partnerships with them, and they became our first rollout partners for the services that we sell today.
And who's your customers? So like, is hospitals? Like, who's going to actually pay for this?
Yep, hospitals. Hospitals are the primary ones, and then you have sonographers who subscribe to our platform, kind of like Uber drivers, and then our platform connects those sonographers to the hospitals who have purchased our robotic equipment.
Is it like a certain size hospital, or hospital who's run a revenue, or like a hospital that specializes in cancer, or what?
Yeah, we're focused primarily on critical access hospitals. So there's 1,800 rural hospitals in the U.S. There's about 1,300 of those are critical access hospitals, and these folks they're out there. They're out there. They don't have access to many specialists, and their patients are in dire need of ultrasound.
And these items you're going to bring in, like, how big is this?
Yeah, it's about half the size of this table.
Okay.
It's just a cart with a robotic arm on the end that holds an ultrasound probe. Yeah.
And how many of these do you have right now?
We've got 2 of them right now. We're currently in beta development. And then after this round we're raising, we're going to get FDA clearance and then distribute them to a small group of hospitals in Washington, validate our model, and then we'll scale up.
And where are you making these at? You have a factory you make them? You making them at your place of work? How's that happen?
Yeah, so we actually partner with third-party hardware vendors. So we're primarily a hardware agnostic software company, and we partner with third-party ultrasound vendors, third-party robot vendors, third-party controllers. Our software brings it all together, connects it to a remote specialist to enable telerobotic and semi-autonomous exams. And so fundamentally, we ship the parts to our office, we put them together, connect them to our software, and then we'll eventually ship those to customers.
And is this made out of like plastic, aluminum, steel, or does that even matter?
Yeah, no, it does matter, especially when going through the FDA. This is made out of a variety of different materials that are all safe to use on patients.
And how do you ensure like the quality is what you need when it comes back from the factory or it's actually being made at?
Just testing.
Okay.
We do a ton of testing.
Okay. And this place you got it made at, like, talk about how you found them, right? Did somebody recommend, or did you do like a due diligence on 10 different places?
Yeah. So a little bit of everything. So there are a lot of. So one of the crazy things that's happened over the last, let's say, 10 years is you've had this incredible growth in robotics. You've had this incredible growth in ultrasound devices. And we're also seeing a growth in like haptic controllers. And so these devices are now becoming commodities. And so there's a lot of different robot vendors to choose from that you can, tap into their APIs to control those robots with software. Similarly with ultrasound, there's these incredible like AI-driven, portable, low-cost ultrasound probes. Same with the haptic controllers. And so there's actually a variety to choose from. And some of them we met through just like connections that we have. Some of them we met by searching them online. There's a variety of ways.
So best case scenario, how many of these robotic things you think you're gonna need?
So in our first release, we're gonna go with one robot, one ultrasound vendor, one haptic controller. Our long-term vision is to become a platform. So any robot, any ultrasound, any haptic controller can plug into our software and take their product to market independently.
How does like the upkeep or like maintenance work?
Yeah, so we have a bunch of telemetry in our product, so we'll know the state of the hardware and software that we're running, and then we charge hospitals a maintenance fee, which enables us to go out to these hospitals to maintain the product.
Are you worried about like you send it to a hospital in like rural Mississippi? Like, this is a bad way to say it, but are you kind of scared or concerned like those people at the hospital won't be able to like get it and be able to run it?
I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
We've spent a lot of time working with folks in those areas, particularly out in Washington, but similar environment, to really understand and design a product that works effectively there. And so we're not worried about that scenario. It would take a lot of time to make sure that doesn't happen.
And do you need like Wi-Fi electricity, or is it battery operated?
No, we can operate it over battery. We actually did this cool study with thing with T-Mobile where we put our system in an ambulance and it was running off battery and 5G, and we drove around Bellevue and a specialist performed a remote robotic ultrasound exam on me in the back of an ambulance. And so like we can do this in a moving vehicle, we can do this at land, at sea, or in space. Initially we're focused on plugging into a wall in a rural hospital through LAN and 5G and doing it that way, but eventually this will evolve into some really cool shit that I'm excited about.
Do you see any community out there that this would not work for?
No.
Okay.
No. We're about everybody. We're initially focused on rural communities, and so we're designing it for that environment. But over time, as we expand to people who have different needs, we'll design systems for them.
So you do talks on healthcare, robotics, AI, imaging. Can you just talk about a recent talk you did?
Ooh. Yeah, I mean.
Let's get up just a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. I spoke at UW not too long ago, just to a group of students who were looking for what they wanted to do in the next phase of their career. And that was a really cool talk because I got to talk about my history and also just like figure out what the next generation is interested in, and we just had some good conversations.
So, why do you think the U.S. health system, I won't say broke, but like so quote unquote quote, so different from everywhere else, right?
I think the economic incentives, um, the way that we reimburse, the lack of transparency, the fee for service model, all influences um, all influences how healthcare is delivered because that incentivizes companies in different ways, both on the device side, the provider side, the specialist side. Um, and so when you look at our model versus like Canada um, or other countries that have different payment systems and reimbursement systems, um, public versus private systems, it just dramatically changes the incentives and how healthcare is delivered.
One thing I never understood was like, you're the doctor says you need X whatever. The insurance company come back and say, no, you don't need that. Like, what? Like, the doctor says I need this, right? How you, the insurance company says it's not covered, right, with the clinical areas? I just never understood. I never got that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think we don't understand in part because that gives the insurance companies more power to dictate where money goes. And I have a very cynical way of viewing it, I know, but like I think that's one of the reasons, and it's unfortunate because that results in a lot of people not getting the care that they need.
Do you think we can ever get insurance companies out of this medical thing, or is this just some evil we have to deal with?
Oh man, I believe we can completely tear down the systems that exist and rebuild them to support everybody. But I think it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of people moving in the same direction to achieve that.
So I got a story for you. So I was in Vietnam from November to February this year, right, or last year, right?
Okay.
We're doing business, doing different things, right? While I was there, I hurt really bad, right? I pulled my back muscle, right?
Oh man.
And so a week long, I'm trying to be tough. I mean, I got to the hospital, right? We were to the hospital, right? And so went online at 9 a.m., had an appointment by 11 a.m., saw the doctor at 11 a.m. He saw the doctor, he looked me over, got an MRI, came back to the doctor again, got my medicine, was done by 2 p.m. So the whole process from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., online everything,
Yeah.
$135 for medicine, MRI. I'm like, I'm not a fucking communist, but man, maybe we need, we need some lessons, right? Like an MRI alone would be like probably $10,000, right, over here, or something like something crazy. Medicines alone, right? Yeah.
Something crazy. So crazy juxtaposition. One of my co-founders works at Harborview. He needed an ultrasound. Took him 2 weeks.